Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 103. God, being love, is also happiness. Are you seeing a pattern here, my friends? We started with this theme of happiness back at lesson 100, where it said in the second paragraph, God's will for you is perfect happiness. Lesson 101 told us, God's will for me is perfect happiness. Lesson 102 told us, I share God's will for happiness for me. And here we are today at lesson 103. God, being love, is also happiness. God is love, and so am I. God, being love, is also happiness. I, being love, am also happiness. You, being love, are also happiness. Is there any doubt in your mind about this, my friend? This is a main theme in A Course in Miracles, in which we accept the truth of who we are as being love. And love and happiness go together like ice cream and pie. We don't get one without the other. We're going to learn in later lessons that forgiveness is the key to happiness. And if we are holding any unforgiveness toward anyone, including ourselves, then we are not going to be able to reach this place deep inside of us where happiness lives. In the basic text of A Course in Miracles, in chapter 27, it says, into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny, mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. We want to remember to laugh. We don't want to remember not to laugh. So let's laugh often, and let's laugh lots, because we are love, and so we are happy. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Isn't that just the most wonderful thing, to know that God wants us to be absolutely perfectly happy, not sad or miserable, not for any reason. God is giving us permission to be happy. That is not the way of the world. I don't know about you, but I was raised to think that I should be unhappy. I should be miserable because I was a bad person. I'm not saying that that's what my parents or anyone else taught me, but that's what I believed. That was my interpretation of what I heard, of what I experienced when I was young. It has taken my working with the profound lessons in A Course in Miracles to change my mind about that and to accept that God's will for me is perfect happiness. We learned that back in lesson number 101. Today's lesson tells us that God, being love, is also happiness. Let's read today's lesson. Happiness is an attribute of love. It cannot be apart from it, nor can it be experienced anywhere where love is not. Love has no limits, being everywhere, and therefore joy is everywhere as well. Yet can the mind deny that this is so, believing there are gaps in love where sin can enter, bringing pain instead of joy? This strange belief would limit happiness by redefining love as limited and introducing opposition in what has no limit and no opposite. Let's talk about it. Here I have written down underneath the word God, by whatever name we want to call it, higher power, inner wisdom, source, our creator, all of these words are equal with happiness, joy, and love. This is who our higher power is. Yet we have bought the story that although we may experience little glimpses of love, there are gaps through which sin can enter, bringing pain So we can never allow ourselves to fully experience love because we're always waiting for that other shoe to drop. We have to protect our hearts. We have to keep the chains locking us up. Let's keep reading. Fear is associated then with love, and its results become the heritage of minds that think that what they have made is real. These images, with no reality in truth, bear witness to the fear of God. Forgetting being love, he must be joy. This basic error we will try again to bring to truth today and teach ourselves. God, being love, is also happiness. To fear him is to be afraid of joy. Let's talk about it. Where does this fear of God come from? It comes from the stories that we were told when we were young, where we literally were told that we needed to have the fear of God. This was meant to keep us in line, to help us as young children learn how to be good. And yet, in fact, it taught us to see God as fearful, as being the almighty hammer in the sky that's going to come down and bonk us on the head if we step out of line. The question here is, are you afraid of God? If so, then you also are afraid of joy. I'm going to reverse the question. Are you afraid of joy? If you can embrace joy, you can embrace God. If you can embrace God, you can embrace joy. Which would you have? Do you want fear, pain, sorrow, or do you want to have joy, peace, happiness in God? The choice is really ours. You might want to write about this in your journal. Let's keep reading. Allow this one correction to be placed within your mind each waking hour today. Then welcome all the happiness it brings as truth replaces fear and joy becomes what you expect to take the place of pain. God, being love, it will be given you. Bolster this expectation frequently throughout the day and quiet all your fears with this assurance, kindly and wholly true. God, being love, is also happiness, and it is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. Let's talk about it. For our practice periods today, morning and evening, as well as hourly, start by saying to ourselves, God, being love, is also happiness. To fear him is to be afraid of joy. On our hourly practice, we also want to allow the correction to be placed in our mind. So any time that we are not in joy, come back to our center, come back to God, and say this to ourselves, God, being love, is also happiness. The second thing that we want to do is just sit and allow the happiness to come to us. And the third thing is to accept that God, being love, will give us the happiness and joy. We don't have to even seek for it. All we have to do is open our hearts to it. The fourth thing that we are being asked to do is to notice any time that we are in any kind of fear or anxiety, to say to ourselves, God, being love, is also happiness, and it is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Tell others about these videos. Encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat?
Yay, it's finally our turn. This is so exciting. 4 hours and 10 minutes later. We are over the moon. Even though it's a long, hot day and a bit of a strenuous process, we are just so thrilled that Mexico is treating us so well. It's Brycey's turn. Don't cry. Oh, he's a tough guy. He's a big boy. it goes. All done.
Gracias.
Yay! Yay!
God being love is also happiness. I, being love, am also happiness. You, being love, are also happiness. Have a day of love and happiness, my friends, and be sure to share it everywhere you go. I love you.